This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief with Pop Culture Therapy. I'm your host, Stone Loki. This is my co-host, Captain Drek. How is everybody doing out there this morning? Chef Zilla, Samantha, Joe, and Purple Lady, the Valkyries are here. Mark, the infinitely tired. What is going on, Mark? Adega Outlaw is in the house. Doctor and author, Adega Outlaw. Robert Pearson, good morning, brother. Josh and Rebecca Momini, how are you guys doing? Are you still being stalked by an insane wrench? I saw that yesterday. I was like, man, what the hell's going on? Mountains of Elysium, hello, Mountains of Elysium, Mr. CCDB. Lady Myst, good morning, Lady Myst. The lovely Guardian of the Veil, or the Void, is here. Good morning, Lady Myst. How is everyone doing? Chef Zilla, dun, 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 dun. Breakfast, dun, 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 dun. Copyright strike.
Oh, yes.
Oh, guys, Crimson Mist, good morning. Good morning, Crimson Mist Chef, or I almost said Chef Zilligan. Chris Persia, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Shadow Cat, good morning, Shadow Cat. How are you doing this morning? Yes, Josh and Rebecca Momini, please send me the screenshot. I would absolutely love to see that. Man, not Ryan Johnson in the house. It is so nice to see you, not Ryan Johnson. The other Johnson, wow, just wow. Rambling Canuck, good morning, Rambling. He's a rambling man.
He's awake. Wow.
He's awake. Psycho Dwarf 9, good morning. Dave G Sound. Guys, thank you all so much for being here. If we have any new blood in the house, please chime in this morning. I would love to meet you. I would love to talk to you. Loki has had, yes, Jeff B. Loki has had his coffee and donuts this morning. Indeed, I have, and I am psyched, guys. I hit 420 last night. I had 420. Me too. I hit 420 last night, and I woke up this morning completely shell-shocked that I was at 453. Last night I was looking at 47 subs. I did not know. Someone had to shout me out. The last time I got a bump of this proportions was the very first time I was on Friday Night Frolics. I was on FNF and I got 72 subs in like 24 hours. It was absolutely insane. Samantha Joe, more like water and rice cakes. Yeah, no coffee and donuts for me. But I am completely psyched, guys. I could not believe that. And I was going around like, who shouted me out? Someone had to shout me out last night. Someone had to say something, because it doesn't happen unless someone big shouts you out. And Derek McManus has mentioned the TARDIS zone. Guys, if that was you, brother, please let me know. Please let me know that was you guys, because that is absolutely insane. If that was you, thank you. Thank you so very much. The Tuesday video took off as well. The Tuesday night video, the one I did with Eris and Peter Whalen. I am Peter Whalen. Shut up, Peter. And I'm just completely blown away. If that was you guys, thank you. Thank you so very much. If that was anybody else doing that last night, thank you. Thank you. I'm completely blown away and humbled by that, guys. That doesn't just happen. That doesn't happen unless someone big is throwing you out. Chris Persia, well, Noel has been mentioning you and the Valkyries lately. Thank you guys so much, and thank you for saying that, Chris. Because I was going around this morning. You know who the hell was shouting me out yesterday? By God, please tell me, because I would love to thank them. And if that going lurker mode, Gollum, yes, Josh, Gollum, precious. Oh, thank you, Purple Lady, for throwing that out there. And thank you, Captain Trek, for agreeing to do this with me. Farscape has a very, very special place in my heart. And Samantha Joe, it's Noel. He and the TARDIS Zone crew are the best. Guys, thank you so very much. Lee, Dan, Noel, guys, you guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome. And that just completely blows me away. I just passed 400. What was it, last week?
Yeah.
No, it was Monday. It was Monday.
Wow.
It's Monday. I passed 400 Monday, and I just passed 450 today. And I'm like, my God, that's 4 days. That's 4 days, guys. It felt like I was climbing the longest ladder to get to 400, and I know that's just going to get harder as I go on. I know that those times are going to get, further and far between. But it's absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Eris of Chaos, the Battle Angel is here. Sorry, everyone, but I got to head out for the day. Things to do, chaos to create, people to destroy. My usual day. Have a good one, all. Y'all, you have a great day, Eris.
Create the chaos.
Yes. And don't run over anybody. Guys, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. 4K, 400 subs, 4 days. I know, dude. I know. I just passed. It's like, yeah, the fours are dropping everywhere, man. I hit 4,000 watch hours. I hit 400 subs. Yeah, it's absolutely insane that happened. That it was like bam, bam, bam. Crimson Mist shifting to lurk mode. Crimson Mist, we love you. You have a great day. Samantha Joe, watching the Peacekeeper War today while I work. Yes, work. Peacekeeper War movie, absolutely epic. I absolutely love that. But Chef, oh my Lord. I cannot talk this morning. I'm completely rattled and completely excited. And I've got butterflies in my stomach. And I'm just like jumping around like a little Mexican Loki bean.
Probably because Trey's in the chat.
Yeah, the coffee. Greetings, programs, Max from Max World Entertainment. Thank you, Trey. How are you doing this morning, brother? Absolutely insane morning. Absolutely insane morning for me. Itty bitty Tribble. Oh, really? The master of milking itty bitty Tribble teets. Can't stay long this morning. I have studio and dumpster fires to put out like you would not believe. I believe you, brother. Frack my life right now, but I wanted to stop by, give this stream a thumbs up, and share. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so very much, brother. I will bring some water by. I'll bring some buckets of water, and I will help. I promise. Thank you, brother, for stopping by. Good morning. Good morning, man. So I told you earlier, I wanted someone with a fresh perspective on this show. I wanted someone that hadn't seen it because I've spent the last 20 years watching this show.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I have only seen the premiere episode. I did not want to go into all the other stuff. And I hope you don't mind if I start watching a couple more episodes at a time, because I was really, although I have to admit I was confused by the end of it, I was really liking it.
Yeah, and I love how it starts out. You've got this astronaut, John Crichton, and we are talking about the premiere. The premiere episode. You've got this astronaut, John Crichton, who has come up with this slingshot theory to use the friction in an atmosphere around a planet to basically supercharge a slingshot maneuver. And if it's possible, if they can do this, then you can go insane speeds. And during the test flight, something happens. Something goes wrong. And he is transported to another side of the galaxy. He is transported out. He doesn't even know if he's in the Milky Way. He doesn't even know if he's in the Milky Way galaxy anymore. All that he knows is that he's somewhere else, and he's got to try and figure this out. He immediately gets struck by some form of alien craft and meets up with a group of aliens on a ship that's being attacked. What did you think about this opening part in the beginning?
Well, I liked how his dad, before the launch, was encouraging him and, gave him his lucky ring and all that. And I have a question. Does it ever get resolved as to what caused the static charge, or was that just a random thing that they never explained?
Oh, yes. There is so much more to this than what you know right now. There is so much more. This is deep, dude. This is deep shit. I mean, this was not a random anomaly like they played out to be in the beginning.
Because that's exactly what I thought when I was watching it. It's like this. There's something more to this than just a random static charge. So that's why I have to ask about this. And that was another reason I wanted to watch more. But I thought, no, I'm going to stick to the one episode, the premiere episode, because that's what we said we were going to talk about. And as soon as he got there, it's like, whoa, what the heck? And quite honestly, all of a sudden, all these ships all around. I was I could kind of feel how he was feeling. Like, what's going on here?
Yes, and Crimson Myst points out, low-key gravity assists are nothing new. It's commonly used by NASA to send probes to the outer reaches of our solar system. But that's not all they were doing, Crimson Myst. They were skipping. Okay, so what the idea was to skip on the atmosphere and increase the speed even more than a normal gravity assist. It's like it would be like skipping a stone, but every time you skip that stone, its speed increased even further than it did before. So imagine walking out on a pond and throwing a stone, but every time it hits the water, it gets faster.
I mean, I am, knowing you know me, I know Star Trek. I was reminded of that, what do they call that? Where they went back in time, the assist, basically.
Oh, the gravity assist, Star Trek 4, Voyage Home.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was thinking of the episode where it was accidental, where they had to figure out how to get back.
Yes.
But it's like, but it would have been like if they had gone into it and gone into the atmosphere or lack thereof, corona, intentionally and tried to jump off that. In my mind, is what I was thinking. It would be, exponentially harder, more complicated. But that was the only thing I had any reference to. But no, I was looking at this. I go, this looks good. And I do have some questions about the aliens as we go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And Chef Zilla says they were hyperspace skipping. No, Chef. What they were doing was they were doing a gravity assist around Earth to slingshot Farscape 1, the shuttle like ship that John was in, but they were adding skipping on the atmosphere. So the idea was that as they were doing the gravity assist, it would bump the atmosphere and get even faster than it possibly could just using the gravity assist. That obviously did not happen. He started to do that when a wormhole opened and he was shot into super speed and transported kind of like the wormhole around DS9 and Star Trek and taken to either another part of the galaxy or an entirely different galaxy altogether.
And I was just reminded, if you remember that one episode in Next Generation where they were in that radiation field where Picard uses the gravity of that asteroid to sling them out. That was basically the same type of thing, except in that case, they had no engines.
Yeah.
They just had thrusters. They were just using their momentum. Imagine how fast they would have gone if they'd actually had engines at that point.
Yep. Exactly. And Josh and Rebecca Monomini, tomorrow is yesterday is the TOS episode. Yep. And that's the one they mention that's why I thought of that. That's the one they mention in Voyage Home. That's why Bones knows you slingshot fast enough, you can go back in time. If you don't, you're fried. Because they had done that before. Yeah. Mr. CCDB, I don't know. That's why they were talking about it being a theory. No one had ever done this before in this pilot episode. No one had ever tried to do this before. It was a complete theory. It was Crichton and trying to remember the kid's name. He had a friend. It was like DJ or CJ, JC, something like that. You only see him like that one time in the show, or maybe he makes a return. Who knows? They had this idea that you could use friction to skip along the atmosphere and increase speed. And you actually see that later in the episode. I don't want to ruin that for you. But he gets on he gets picked up like tractor beamed onto this ship, and it's a very strange looking ship. It's not a ship, anything like what you've seen in any other show. This is a living ship. This is a biological entity that has humans on board. And it is called a Leviathan. And it's one of the coolest looking ships I think I've ever seen. And that Leviathan has a name. It has a personality. It has its own feelings, and its name is Moya. And on that ship, there's what's called a pilot. And that the pilot is actually integrated into the ship. Samantha Joe, Moya the Leviathan. Yes, Moya the Leviathan. And thank you, Purple Lady, for throwing that out there. Thank you so much. Thank you, because we love you, Cap. And we want you to be around to do all of these and keep doing them and keep hanging out on Thursdays, brother. We love you, brother.
You all are troublemakers.
We are all troublemakers. Hey, guys, that's why we're here, right? To raise a little mischief and start some shit. Hell yeah. Life with Matthew. I can't believe they only use that slingshot maneuver that one time in Moya. It's your get out of jail free card anytime you're next to a planet. Indeed it is. And they don't bring that. They don't even bring that up for 3 seasons. And they don't ever do it again, but they bring it up one more time. And that may be because the calculations are so hard. I don't know. You see that towards the end. You see him actually do the calculations by hand. But from the way he explained it, it's like one mistake and you're fried. So
Well, at least at the time, it's like we're dead anyway, so might as well try it.
Yeah, we might as well try it because we're dead anyway. The peacekeeper. Yeah. Well, hold on. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Of course we are. So he gets on this ship and he gets what that you see this little robot run up to him and inject him with something and then haul ass off. And he winds up on Moya's in her control room. And you see these aliens and they're yelling and they're fighting. And Crichton starts understanding them. And he starts understanding them because the little robot that came and injected him with something has injected kind of like nanites that are going to translate everyone's language for him so he can understand everything.
Because at first he's not understanding a word. He's going, I don't know what's going on. Hello?
Yeah, hello. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. And that's the first time you meet Dargo. And Dargo is a warrior. He's kind of like, he's almost like a Klingon, but even worse because Klingons, that when they get angry and they can screw shit up. But this guy, when he gets angry, you're going to find out later, he goes absolutely insane. It's called hyper rage, Luxon hyper rage. So you've got this Luxon warrior named Dargo. You see a blue woman, all in blue, bald head, and she was actually in the actress that played her was actually in The Road Warrior. I don't know if anybody ever knew that, but she's actually in The Road Warrior. That's Zan. And she is the exact opposite of Dargo, where Dargo is a warrior and insane, can go insane. He's not always insane, but if he gets pissed off enough, he'll go into hyper rage. She is very calm and cool and collected. And she's actually a giant plant, like a walking, talking plant. Who knew? And then you meet the nastiest little bastard, I think, ever in a show, Rigel. And Rigel is the former dominar of the Hynerian Empire and a giant pain in the ass to everybody around him. And he is used to having his harem around. He is used to having all his slaves. I think he said he had like 187 slaves that tended to him in the morning. So you start to get the idea that this guy is, yes, immortal technique. Yes, totally. Yes, brother. So do I. It's that dark hair, man. It's that dark hair and that attitude. And yeah. I remember on the commercials, you haven't seen this yet, Cap, but it won't ruin anything. On the commercials after the first season, there's a scene with Aaron Sung. That's who Claudia Black plays, is Aaron Sung. And she's got this giant like blaster, this like Gatling gun looking blaster. And she says, on the ground now. And that used to be in the commercial, dude. And I was like, oh, be still my beating heart. Oh, son of a bitch. Be still my beating heart. I absolutely loved Aaron Sung in the show. Absolutely loves Aaron Sung. And that's who that's who we're going to introduce last here is Officer Aaron Sung. The people that are attacking Moya are the peacekeepers. And one of the peacekeeper fighters gets trapped in Moya's landing bay, and they end up putting her in a cell along with John Crichton, who Dargo tongue whipped and like put to sleep. Luxgans have this like almost like frog-like tongue that zips out and can snap at people and knock them out if it hits them behind the neck. So they're in a cell, John and this peacekeeper pilot, and the peacekeeper pilot takes its helmet off, and obviously it's Claudia Black, Officer Aaron Sung. And they look exactly alike. Ain't that a bitch? And I know what you're going to ask me next, Cap. Are they ever going to explain why these people look like human beings?
Well, actually, that was exactly what I was going to ask.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And it is very interesting. Crichton, obviously, they think Crichton is a peacekeeper, Zan and all of them. And so does Aaron. She wants to know what regiment, Icar regiment, blah, 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 where he comes from. And he has to explain to all of them that he is human. And eventually, Zan and Dargo and Rigel learn, because of a blood test, he is not a peacekeeper. The antibodies in his body are completely different. And there are very, very minute differences in their cellular structure. Very minute. So anyone out there going, well, I haven't seen this. Are they connected? It would seem so in some way. I'm not going to ruin that. Do they explain that over the course of the show? Yes. And it is a fucking awesome explanation. This was a labor of love for the people that participate in it. All of this was filmed out in Australia. Obviously, they used a lot of Australian actors and actresses. It was filmed there. I have heard stories about how on this first shoot, this very first episode, they had no AC in the studio. So when they were doing something inside the studio, it was hot as hell. They were sweating their asses off because they had no AC. They'd film that way. And that wouldn't be the only time, just this first episode.
I did have one question about the peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, they give me the vibe of the Empire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So are they actually good guys or not?
That is something you're going to have to decide for yourself. Right now, because of Crace, the peacekeepers are after Crichton. If the peacekeepers knew where Crichton came from and how he got there, they would either dissect him or they would be using him. They do not. That's something you will learn. The reason why Erin is now a part of the Moya crew is that basically she's been deemed contaminated by lesser species. The peacekeepers basically, and it's Crace, it's really Crace, has deemed her irrevocably contaminated by Crichton. You have been in contact with alien race too long. You are now contaminated. You can no longer be a peacekeeper, yada, yada, yada. He threw her out, basically, because of her small allegiance to Crichton, because Crichton helped her escape and get her out of there.
Yeah.
So you will come to hate the peacekeepers, but you also come to understand. And with that understanding, it all depends on really how you want to look at them after that. I mean, it's going to be your choice. At the end of this, my view was they were a necessity. So if you didn't have them, things would be a lot worse than they are. But you're going to have to come to your own conclusion.
I'm looking forward to seeing more. Like I said, I had a vibe that this was more, not exactly peace, as in kind of more empire than anything. It's like, we're going to control everything.
And they don't. They don't. You think they do now, but they do not, dude. They only have their one, and it's not even a corner, dude. It's not even a corner. It's like the middle apartment in the galaxy. They only have one little slice. And yes, where they're at, they have an iron grip, but that iron grip is going to be challenged constantly. Frowling Crace is the source of all of Crichton's woes. I agree with that, until we get to the chair, Chris. Until we get to the chair, beware the chair. Beware of the chair. Beware of the Drew. If he's out there listening. Yes, Crace is going to be the beginning of all of Crichton's woes, because Crace blames him for the death of his brother. And thank you, Purple Lady, for throwing that out there. The link to Captain Trek's YouTube channel. Thank you so very much. Ambassador, good morning. We are talking some Farscape here this morning. So we get a little bit more, and there's something really big I want to talk about. You get to this bazaar after Crichton helps Aaron get off of Moya and get away from the aliens. They end up at this alien bazaar, and you see all of these different aliens, and all of these effects are real. They are not digitally created. They were not thrown together with smoke and mirrors. These are real puppets and real effects, things you could reach out and touch. And this was all done by Jim Henson's company.
And see, I wouldn't have known looking that they were puppets at this point, because they don't strike me as being, well, Muppets like some of the old puppets had.
Yeah, exactly. And I was amazed the first time I saw this. I felt like I was watching, what was it? Buck Rogers meets Dark Crystal is what I thought the first time I saw this. And Life with Matthew. Yes. My side, your side, my side, your side, my side, your side, my side, your side. Yes, dude. Yes, something you will absolutely come to love, Captain Trek, in the future. My side, your side. You see these puppets, and you see these real effects that they are using, and it's amazing. Like I said, it's like Buck Rogers. I really felt Buck Rogers when he's going through the wormhole and he's in the ship. I was like, holy shit, this is like that opening to Buck Rogers where he's frozen in the shuttle.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yes.
I had that same feeling.
Yes, or Buck Rogers meets Labyrinth. Yes, Crimson Mist. Yes, Buck Rogers meets Labyrinth. Dark Crystal. Yes, it's like Jim Henson went in and said, I'm going to do my own Buck Rogers. Every time you see him in that shuttle and the opening credits and he's shaking and his head, he's like, going through the wormhole, it immediately conjures Buck Rogers for me. It immediately does that.
See, I didn't want to say anything because I, didn't want to quite date myself that much, but yeah. I still remember watching that.
And Lady Miss says, no, they didn't look like regular puppets. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They looked like aliens. They looked like weird-ass aliens no one had ever seen before. Dark Monkey or Rev didn't find Farscape till a while after its release, but oh man, I was hooked all the way. Dude, as soon as I didn't know if I was going to keep watching after the first season. But as I grew closer to the last episodes of the first season, I was getting more and more hooked. I was like, okay, this is really starting to pick up. This is really starting to get good. And then you meet, who at the end of the first season. I'm not going to ruin that for anybody. And yeah, I was hooked after that. I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest looking bad guy. I'm getting Darth Vader vibes. I'm getting this, I'm getting that. And yeah, I was completely hooked after that. But they get, obviously we talked about Crace throwing Aaron out of the Peacekeepers. We talked about that a little bit, and that's what happens. They get in this bazaar, and the Peacekeepers find them, and they capture them, and they're going to obviously dissect Crichton because Crace wants to know what the hell he is, and he exiles Aaron from the Peacekeepers and says she is irrevocably contaminated by these aliens. And they end up getting away, and they end up getting back to Moya. And this is where you saw, you were saying this was the where they do the skipping on the atmosphere. They've got to get away from the Peacekeeper ship.
Right.
And tell us what you thought when you were watching that, because I really want to hear your perspective on the effects in this are not like today's effects, but they're still great. So when you saw that scene when they're trying to escape and they do the slingshot maneuver, what were you getting from that?
Oh, see, that's the thing. I was just so into it. I'm used to anymore getting pulled out of the moment, and I was just there going, "Wow, you know, it's like they're really, really trying hard to escape, and we have no choice." He's down there. He's asking for paper. He's down there making all these calculations, and just so they have a chance of getting away. Because it's like, if they're caught, we're screwed. We're dead. So we have no other choice. And then all of a sudden, he's telling the pilot what to do, headed toward that planet, and telling her when to pull up. And it's just like, come on. Boom! They got it. They got away. That was exciting. It was amazing.
Holy shit, Trey, your Tribble just infected my damn stream. Oh, I muted that to let Captain Trek talk, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? And this and that. And then I'm like, son of a bitch, Trey!
I was gonna say, I wondered why you got so quiet.
Man. Oh, yeah, dude. Yes. Trey, if I had a Tribble video right now, I'd be playing it. Son of a bitch. Oh, I was like, Trey, last night I was watching him and I was like, Trey, you're muted, brother. You're muted, brother. You're muted, man. And look what I did this morning. Oh, that's why I don't hit the mute button. I just sit here and listen. But yeah, nice one, boss. Thank you, Sammy. Tribbles. Thank you, Valkyries. Thank you, guys. Oh, shit. And dude, to explain to anybody who does not know, Moya is a living, breathing ship in space. She does not have guns. Leviathans do not have weapons. Leviathans were originally peaceful exploration ships. They charted the galaxy. And that's all they did. And they used this thing called Starburst, which is like a short-range warp drive. And you're in Starburst for, a minute or two. And then when you get out, you are vast distances away from where you were before. It's a very quick warp jump that none of the other ships have. They can just go fast. They don't have warp speed. They use something else.
I do have a question because they didn't go into it in the episode. Because you could see when I don't remember the character's name now, initially did that skip off the atmosphere of Earth, you can see the bottom of his shuttle scorched.
Yep.
But this living ship, wouldn't it have damaged her in some way?
Yes, but she will repair herself like a human being, like with the scrape to me.
Mm-hmm.
You actually do find out a lot more about this later in the show. One of the worst things for a Leviathan is fire. Moya, you will find out later, is scared to the bejesus of fire. She does not like fire. Because obviously fire bad. If there was a huge fire on Moya, she could burn to death. It is a living thing. They're not just created. They are born from other Leviathans. They grow. They'll start out very small and unable to support a pilot or human beings. Unable to support any life but itself. And it will grow and keep growing and keep getting bigger the longer it is alive. A Leviathan it's almost like a goldfish. It will grow to accommodate its crew. So the Leviathan has 50 people on it. It won't keep growing. If a Leviathan that normally has 50 people on it suddenly gets like 200, it will grow to accommodate its passengers.
Wow.
Ain't that a bitch? And like I said, no Leviathan has weapons. These were created by a like Q-like race. I'll go ahead and say that because it's not really, but it's not really a big thing. You'll find that out and it'll be like common knowledge soon. To explore the galaxy. They're peaceful life forms and they're meant to have a crew. And a Leviathan will bond with its crew over time. Gomtuu, yes. Yes, Gomtuu.
I was thinking just that. I was thinking about that earlier because it's like it reminded me of that. Where,
yep. Go ahead.
Where, you have the one Betazoid who bonded with it because, it was alone. He was inundated by everything around him, but he was alone. And they joined and became one. And yeah, it just kind of reminded me of the that ship where it's the crew becomes a part of the ship. It's not just the crew, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And that's exactly what Pilot is. Okay. Pilot in Tin Man is like the guy or Pilot on Moya is like the guy from Tin Man, the Betazoid. Pilot is directly connected to Moya. Pilot talks to Moya. He's the only one on the ship at the moment that can directly talk to Moya. And he helps everything. He controls doors. He controls all little things that Moya can't control inside of herself. Basically, Moya does. Moya's like the soul of the ship, where Pilot is like the brain. Pilot directs everything, but Moya has feelings, and those feelings can completely differ from Pilot. So in reality, you have multiple people on the ship that can take control. But at the end of the day, Pilot's in charge. But if Pilot goes against something, goes against Moya's wishes, Moya can get pissed. So when it comes to like, should we do this? Pilot will ask Moya, what do you think we should do? And Moya can tell Pilot, and Pilot will tell the crew, hey, this is what Moya feels like we should do. But at the end of the day, Moya is the ship, and Moya wants a crew. Tam Elbrun, yes. Yes, Samantha Joe, Tam Elbrun. Moya wants a crew. Josh and Rebecca Momini, a Leviathan is like a goldfish, so my kid will get one at the fair only to flush it down the toilet inside of a week. That's, what the frell? Yeah, yachts. Yes, and I love the language. You frelling idiot, because frell is obviously, code for the big F-bomb. And yes, someone threw it up here earlier. I don't know where it went, but yes, in the 200th episode of Stargate SG-1, they totally have some fun and have a scene where Ben Browder is playing Stark, and the guy who plays Daniel Jackson is playing Crichton, and Claudia Black is back to playing Aaron, and it's a lot of good fun. Thor is playing Rigel. Yachts. It was a really cool little. Never swallow a dentic. Yes, Adega. You'll find out about the dentic later. The dentic is like a living toothbrush that you don't swallow. They have a living thing that you put in your mouth, and it goes and cleans all the plaque off your teeth.
I don't know if that sounds scary or nice.
Yeah, Crane doesn't want to use it, but Dargo shoves it in his mouth and is like, never swallowed the dentic. Yeah, SG1 roasted Farscape. It is hilarious in the 200th episode of Farscape. Absolutely hilarious. I laughed my ass off when I saw it. This was a show of love, guys. This was a show of love, and that'll become more apparent as you watch. It will become more apparent. And Crichton, obviously, Crichton's alone, dude. At the end of this episode, he's talking to that tape recorder, and he is alone. He is really alone. Erin may look human, but she is not human. She is a peacekeeper. She is not a human being. At this point in time, Erin is a peacekeeper. Down to her DNA flowing through her blood, she bleeds black and red. This woman bleeds black and red. She bleeds peacekeeper colors.
And I will admit, this is one point at which I was kind of pull out of the moment, because he's talking into this tape recorder. You don't really see it functioning. It's like, is he really recording? Yeah, he may be, but he's talking to his dad, who probably will never hear this. That was the one point I was kind of going, I don't know. Is it really working? Is there really any point? I don't know. But overall, I still love the episode.
Yeah. And that, I think that's his right now. That's his grip on sanity. Is I'm gonna make these tapes, whether he's really making them or not, because you're gonna find out a lot more about Crichton and what makes Crichton tick. And Crace is going to drive Crichton nuts. Crace is not going to stop until he kills Crichton. That's his goal. That's his agenda. He will not stop until he has Crichton hanging by his toes and he gets to kill him. So imagine being completely alone. Yes, you've got these aliens, but they have no idea what humanity is. He has no point of reference to tell them. Even if he told them about Buck Rogers, they'd have absolutely no reference on who Buck Rogers is or anyone else from Earth. So all he can do is talk to that tape recorder right now. That's all he can do. And that may be what kind of gets him over the hump, because he's stuck. There's no way home. That will become more and more apparent. My name is John Crichton, an astronaut. A radiation wave hit and I got shot through a wormhole. Please, is there anybody out there who's listening to me? I am being held captive by blue-haired landwells. Oh, he's being hunted by an insane military commander, and he's just looking for a way home. Thank you, Cap. We're going to cover next Thursday. We'll go over what you want to do, like 3 episodes, the next 3.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
That sounds wonderful.
All right. We will go over the next 3 episodes next week. Thank you all. Sorry the time thing got screwed up and no notification. That was totally my fault. Yeah, Looney Tunes. Imagine trying to explain Looney Tunes and the Wile E. Coyote to aliens, or Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner to aliens. And you may just get to see something like that. All right, guys, thank you so very much. Josh and Rebecca Momini, Chris Persia, Captain Spire, my Valkyries, thank you so very much for being here this morning, Valkyries. Life with Matthew, Shadow Cat, Adega Outlaw. Oh, I'm sorry, Adega Outlaw. Hashtag Adega for Ariel. Mark the Infinitely Tired, Darth Monkey O'Wrath, Robert Pearson. Thank you, guys. Lady Myst, the Guardian of the Void. Thank you, Lady Myst, for being here. Life with Matthew. Immortal Technique, thank you so much for being here this morning. Guys, I can't wait to do this some more next Thursday. We will hit 3 more episodes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And me and Adega are going to be on tonight talking about ancient drink, ancient booze, how they made it, how they drank it, how crazy the parties were in Babylon. We are going to nail ancient liquor tonight on 7 Kinds of Mischief. So thank you again, Captain Trek, for being here and for watching.
Thank you for having me, Loki. I appreciate it.
and we will catch you guys later tonight.